What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lesson Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Digital Relaxation, and we are back again for another episode. And as always, if you guys enjoy what you hear, what you're going to hear, please be sure to share and rate this podcast. You can rate it Apple Podcasts, rate it on Spotify, all of that. I also added my podcast to YouTube. If anyone who listens to things on YouTube, yeah, just in case. If anybody want another way to listen to it, it's there. But yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, what I've been up to since the last episode. And quickly before I'm already being unprofessional. Let me see, because I feel like I don't think I did, but let me see. The 21st. Yeah. Let's see, 21st. Oh, no, never mind. I thought I missed a week, but I didn't. My timeline is weird. So we're good. So yeah, what I've been up to. Not much. Cause I break it down, but not much to say. And some things I'm gonna hold off on. But starting with music, as always, I'm not gonna say I don't be listening to music. Music is like, it's my battery that keeps me moving. But in terms of listening to new music, the only thing that I recently heard was the Vultures album with Ye and Ty Dolla Sign. I listened to it one time. It wasn't bad. There's probably like four songs that I like. See if I can find a track list in here of it, and I can tell you. The obvious song, of course, everyone loves is "Talking" by the legendary Northwest. um, that was cool. What's the other one? Jeez. Now I'm gonna sound like now I'm gonna sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, because there are some songs I like on here, but now I don't know which song was what name. So I'm gonna have to listen to them to find out. But there was one song, I don't know which one it was, that had a good, like, you know, what you call it. It might be Hood Rat, either Hood Rat or Do It. Because I know it comes afterwards, after Talking, and the other song might be one of those. But yeah, there's more. I can't do a proper review. Oh, looking at the ratings, this did not do good in most people's scoring. That's interesting. I mean, it's a lot of average to not good reviews, which for me personally, I give it an average. I haven't been checking like Kanye's albums like pretty much ever since Yeezus, I want to say. And even that, even before Yeezus, it took me a while to finally listen to my Dark Twisted, I want to say, maybe. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It took me a while to listen to that, like all the way through. I think when I first like the first time I finally gave it a chance, maybe Life of Pablo was already out. So in terms of being consistent with his albums, I guess after 808s and Heartbreak, I wasn't that consistent. Cause 2010, my everything changed. Not only my music taste, but my mental state and everything. That's when everything just went left for me. So I wasn't checking for a lot of things. That's why I said during my college years, I kind of rebooted all of my tastes and rediscovered things that I like and whatnot. So which is Yeezus in 2013. I was during my college. And yeah, then after that, I kind of just stopped listening. I haven't listened to a full length Kanye album since Until Vultures. Um, and yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's down the road for me. Wasn't too crazy, but it wasn't, it wasn't terrible. But yeah, I guess by Kanye standards, I guess it would technically be terrible if it's just average, but just music and as a body of work is average for me. Um, Going into the anime and manga section, which I can't talk too much about one thing here because obviously I do have an anime based podcast, the Split Sensake podcast, if you want to check that out. But I finally finished the first, I guess it's a volume, like it's a huge book, of Blade of Immortal. I had that book for a little bit and it took me a while to get into it. Because the art style is kind of, it's not terrible. It can be rough on the eyes because of how it's drawn. Like it's drawn in a kind of inky way, like those old Japanese ink paintings. It doesn't look like that, but it's like how the lines are drawn. It gives that feel like it's a lot of shadows used in there, so it's kind of hard to gauge what you're seeing. And then there's some pages where it's nice and clean, so it can be rough on the eyes. But Blade of Immortal, it's a typical story. This girl, her parents, she came from like a family, a samurai family. Her father, who had a dojo and whatnot, I believe he was murdered by this group of people, and she basically wants revenge on the people who killed her parents. Both her father and mother was murdered, and she runs into the main dude, and basically hired him as a bodyguard. So he's just like I don't want to say he fits that trope of just being like the reckless samurai dude, like probably like Mugen, like I guess I would say he's Mugen and Jin if he was combined with more of a Mugen like outlook. Like he's more chaotic and I don't care about whatever, but he still values like the fight and respects it, I guess. Like he admits when like, oh, I lost. But the trick about this guy is with the title of the manga, he's immortal. There's like these worms that's like inside of him, and like they basically heal his wounds. And like if he lose a limb, like if he just puts it there, like they'll reattach. And I think we did get like a little maybe insight on it, like on the first chapter, but like I said, it's a pretty hefty book. So by the time, and I wasn't reading it consistently. So by the time I got to like finishing the book, I kind of like forgot that plot line. But if it wasn't completely touched upon, it might still not be touched upon from where I'm at. But yeah, it's basically a more gritty Samurai Champloo. Like the whole this girl wants to find this certain people, and they just going on this journey, and they just encountering different fights and different situations along the path. That's literally what the story is. But like I said, it's more gritty, it's more gory, like people like limbs getting chopped off and whatnot. And the quote unquote gimmick of this guy is that he's immortal, quote unquote. As you read more this like ways to get around that. But that's mostly it. This actually I think there's 10 volumes, and I'm like, I finally got intrigued, and I'm like, damn, like these books is kind of hefty. I don't know if I want to read all 10 of those. So I don't know. We'll see. And the other thing is, even though it's technically not an anime or a manga, but it's related. The Avatar, the live action for Avatar: The Last Airbender, redone again in live action after the first, you know, terrible attempt. Um, so like I said, we're more than likely gonna review this one on the podcast when we do our next episode. So you could check that out when we do that. But just to give a quick impressions, it's similar to One Piece in terms like it was done right, but it was also like because they did basically the entire book one in 8 episodes, which is the same thing with One Piece. They did the entire East Blue arc in 8 episodes. So for convenience and time's sake, they had to either cut some things out of the story that wasn't too important, or make multiple stories fit in one episode, or make certain characters fulfill the purpose of another character that instead of introducing them, they just like, hey, why don't you just let this character just be that person since they already there. As long as you can get past that, it's a good it's a good watch. CGI it's decent. I mean, there's some scenes where you can see like, oh, it's CGI, but this also it looks cool for Netflix. And the bending is way better compared to that last one. The choreography is cool. Some people you can tell are like decent fighters, and some like are pretty good, like martial artists. I wasn't sure, but I might have to research this. But the guy who plays Zuko, I don't know if it was a stunt double or if it was actually him, but there's some fight scenes with him where he shows like he's very like acrobatic and doing like these crazy flips. And if that's actually the actor who played him, that's dope. So like, cause not only that, he also plays Zuko good. He plays it like I said, the cast is good. Like most of the cast is actually good. And not only that, like the choreography for certain characters is good. So Zuko got some good fights and also being a good character. So for the Zuko fans out there, it's a good watch. But yeah, we'll probably go more in depth on the Splits and Sake podcast. Gaming, Tekken came out. I don't really play. I'm all right. So I wanted to do this video on YouTube. I just don't know how to do it, or I don't know. I'm not too motivated to do it because I want to come back to YouTube, of course. But I'm not gonna say I'm not a fighting game person, but I grew up playing fighting games because we had the family of like your cousins and your brothers. That's how our measurement of skills are. Like we all in this one room huddled up and like passing the controller off to whoever lose, and one person who got to hold the controller, like see how long you can hold the controller till one person come and knock you out. And it's just a fun day because we all just knowing like the basic moves and whatnot. But online gaming ruined fighting games for me personally, and I feel like in general, I feel like some people just be like forcing themselves to get good just to say like they like playing games. But because like a lot of people focus on exploits and what's the cheapest combo, what's the quickest move, to win the match, and it doesn't feel genuine when they beat you or when you fight people. Like I feel like, oh, like man, this is all he do. I can see a pattern. It's annoying. Like just play the game for fun. Stop trying to like you're trying to outclass somebody, so you're just gonna keep knocking out this one combo and manipulate the frames and whatnot. I'm like, bro, just relax. So we got Tekken. Because mostly this is a cross-play game. It might be I'm not gonna say only, but in terms of like definitely the big three, like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Tekken, I think Tekken's the only one that's cross-play across all platforms, which is dope. So a bunch of us got it, a bunch of us on different platforms. I got it for PC. Story, trash. I mean, Tekken never really had a great story. I mean, the story has literally been the same thing for like probably the first 6 games, maybe. I think the 7th game, that's when they did a little shift, and then this game picks up from there. But for like 6 games straight, the story has been the same for the most part. So it's like, when you know what the story is, then it's the same shit. And the final fight was annoying. Um, but the game is cool. In terms of like, just like, I'm enjoying like trying to figure out how to play it. Because I don't normally be sitting there like studying how to play fighting games. But what we do, but it's mainly just us. Like, we just have our lobby. It just be all of us, and we just be playing and having a good time. And that's it. Like, that's just the enjoyment out of fighting games. We just play with your boys. Like, when you try to play online, these people just trying hard to like get their rank up. Because when you play any game that have a ranking system, that's when the game just gets real toxic. But yeah, and that's mainly it. I haven't really been, I mean, I know I think it came out already. The new wrestling game, 2K24. Because we usually do our custom show there, which sucks because if we do get that means we got to remake all of our wrestlers again, and I'm not looking forward to doing that. So I don't even know if I'm even going to get this game. But yeah, that's mainly it. I haven't played. I mean, there's been some new games that came out, but I haven't been playing anything. And yeah, it's mostly it. In terms of life in general, things I've been up to. I mean, just been trying to maintain. I've been trying to do new things in my life, trying to like give myself like obstacles and challenges to better myself. And I'm doing one recently, and like my dreams, like almost 2 nights in a row, have been related to my obstacle, and it kind of been like tempting me to fail and break. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I'm literally fighting against my subconscious right now. So trying to just get through this, and I mean, there's no real reward for doing it. It's just learning self-control, I guess, and learning discipline, and seeing if I can be able to give myself a test and see if I can pull through with it. I have done multiple things multiple times, and sometimes I fail, sometimes I pass them. So it's just not just gauge, like, if I was to sacrifice certain things in my life, will I be able to like function and focus and whatnot? So that's what I'm doing. But also some of it is for like health, like cutting out things that I eat and drink. But yeah. So going into this, I'm gonna probably break. I have 3 topics here. I don't know how long I'm gonna talk about each one, so I'm just gonna talk about each of them and see what the time gives me. And I'm gonna start with this one first, which I put on, which is actually, this is kind of not so much of a challenge or test for me, but it's something that I'm doing recently, which is taking a break from social media. I don't know if I talked about it last episode, but I was talking about it, like, the wrong people with the wrong message are on my social media. We know that, but it's the problem when apps like TikTok or whatnot is like, oh, this is for you, and it's like, no, this is not for me at all. Like, it's like they kind of like forcefully putting these agenda type propaganda people on my page, and I'm like, it's just annoying. And the stuff that people talk about and whatnot, it's like, a lot of stuff just don't make sense, and people just be talking just to talk. Some people just be saying stuff to sell stuff, and I'm like, and it's very disingenuine or ingenuine. It's like, like people just like people are just sick. So I'm like, I need to, like I said, just like I said last time, like when I went through things last year, like just reconnect myself with, you know, myself, with quote unquote nature, just appreciate the world around me and stop like trying to be engulfed into like social media. And like I want to, I keep saying this all the time, like it's one of the biggest arguments I have myself, like back and forth with myself, is that I want to just disappear from social media and all of that, but it sucks because I do things like this and my other podcasts and whatnot, and obviously to build a brand we need to have some kind of presence. um uh I mean, I will hope that we get to the point where, people know us and we establish a whole thing where we can build a community and just put ourselves in the corner, like make a Discord server somewhere. So like we're only here. If you need to talk to us, we're here. We promote when we're doing something, we put it there. So we can eliminate all the other social medias. Like if you rocking with us, you rocking with us. If you don't, whatever. From this point on, it should be word of mouth. Like if y'all mess with us and you think there's gonna be some people that mess with us, cool. And of course, if we go to like any live events and network with people, but I'm just tired of social media. So like I want to just disappear from there. So I'm just taking a break from there, limiting my usage on my phone and whatnot, and yeah, just trying to center myself, not letting people put things in your head or just letting people ruin your mood. Like you could be having a good day and then the wrong video, the wrong messages pop up and it just changes your day and just ruins things for you. Like I can't keep, you can't let people just dictate your mood throughout the day just because they felt, it's not, it's definitely like, yeah, free speech or whatnot, but it feels like there's some kind of entitlement for people who just love saying the wrong, stupidest things on the internet and thinking that is cool. Like, I don't know, but that's about it. Just not trying to get myself consumed in all the BS that's going on out here and just focus and remain in my own little habitat here. And just do some hobbies, man. Just do some things. I haven't even been making music lately, which sucks. 'Cause I really want, well, not really, but when I first was planning on doing this project, I wanted to drop it for next month, and I'm not even halfway done. So I don't know when it's coming, but which is good because I like this is gonna be like, I want to take more time on actually like working on it and making it sound right, because I'm my biggest critic, of course, but I'm mostly my biggest hater. Like for the first like month or so when I drop a new project or something, I'm my biggest hater. Like I'll listen to the project and I'll hear everything I could possibly hear that's wrong with it. Like, oh, my voice didn't sound too good there, or the mixing wasn't good there. I didn't use enough energy on this song. And it's like when I was recording it and I was enjoying the vibe and everything, like when I record a song, I'm like, yeah, man, that was a good one right there. And I'm playing it back. But once I make it public, all the doubt and everything just comes to hit me. And I'm like, bruh. So I want to get this right so I don't have that feeling, I guess. So I'm just trying to do it right, take my time with it. And of course, I'm constantly changing things. Like I done changed like 5 song titles by now. So I still don't even have a concrete direction on this whole project. But yeah. Next topic. I don't really like how I type this, but this not, I mean, it can be taken literally, but it wasn't, when I wrote this, it wasn't meant for literal. And that's to not harm yourself. And what I mostly meant to say was kind of to respect yourself, not hurt yourself. Like there's a lot of, and it kind of ties into this other topic too. So I'm probably gonna combine them both and see where we go from there. But the other topic I also have is one of the things that can put like that can hurt you in terms of hurting yourself is making yourself too accessible. And that's something not always, I mean kind of always, because that's always been me. Like that's my, whenever you need me, I'm here type thing. I'm not the type of person who would normally go out of my way to like ask people for things or whatever, but I do like to have dialogue with people, mainly my best friend. But because of our, the distance and the time zone, we're not available to speak to each other when, and then of course we have our own lives, which mine is a cool. Well, like is apparently my life is not as busy as everybody else, so I'm always available, no matter the situation, no matter the time difference or whatever. I'm just always available unless I'm sleeping. I'm available, and I feel like that's an issue with me because I put that expectation on other people, and some of it feels like it's a cruel fate thing, cause it's like one of those things like yeah, there's someone like me who exists in all my friends' life. Like they know that they have me here, like, oh, we want to do something, I'm there. You need help with something, I'm there. But when the roles are reversed, everyone just happens to be busy. They're not in the mood to talk. They're not in the mood to do this. And I'm like, it's just strange that everybody in my life just so happens to be that way. It's like I couldn't meet one person who's just accessible as me. Like, like I live a very, I guess, secure, down the middle life. Like I do what I do. Am I hearing the ice cream truck? Bruh. Like it was a whole rainstorm today. Why are you selling ice cream? But yeah, like I live a real like down the middle life. Like I work, grind, do what I gotta do, get home, get myself settled, think about what I'm gonna have for dinner, prepare that, and all this other stuff. But if someone texts me or whatever, you're guaranteed to get an immediate response. I text someone, I get a response like 30 minutes later, sometimes depending on who it is, a day later or whatever. And it's like, damn, like, and it's like, like their life is like, some of y'all don't even be doing most, like y'all literally just be ignoring me just because. But and not so much me specifically, like there's those people who literally just like they just sitting in their bed and like, oh, my phone went off. They'll look at it and like, all right, whatever. Like they'll decide when they want to respond. And then I had this conversation on the previous episode, not previous episode, but like a few episodes ago when I had my guests on here, where we speak about how technology has came so far from where, yeah, there was a point in time when you text someone, like when texting was still new, like there was a delay there to get that text message and then the response and then all of that. Now everything is damn near like the moment I press send, it pops up on the next person's phone. Like, so it's like it should be no excuse why the response shouldn't be as fast type thing. But people like to make things difficult, and that's what it is. But to go into using that, because that can lead into like putting doubt in your head and putting like these emotions within you, and you start becoming bitter and angry with your friends and whatnot, and also with yourself, because it's like, here I am giving you guys all my energy and whatnot, and just being there for you guys, but yeah, I can't do that for me type thing. And I do always get to the point where it's like, it's gonna be crazy when it gets to the point in life where I do become unavailable. And it's like, I don't want to hear nothing, bro. Cause like y'all had me all this time and don't like when you feel like you need me now and I'm no longer accessible to you guys, like get out of here. Cause I am definitely a person who's like, if I am going to be locked into something that's going to keep my attention or whatever, I'm going to be locked into it. And that's that. It's just so far I'm just keeping myself accessible to things because I'm just trying to figure things out in life, but slowly building things and building my path, figuring out what's next and get to another level. But yeah, don't don't take any kind of like, hateful actions or whatever to your friends. I feel like what it is you need to do is make yourself a little less accessible. Like, yeah, even if you are the person who are just sitting there and like, like you, the person who do give your energy a lot and you are sitting there on your couch, just chilling, watching TV and someone texts you, normally you're the person who just respond real back. Just don't. Just enjoy your peace, enjoy what you're doing. You're watching your show, enjoy your show. Wait till the show is over, then talk to them. Like, enjoy you, build your own life, build your own personal environment there. And when you feel like you want to invite someone inside via text message or whatever, then do that on your own time, because what you're gonna do is just end up building this whole expectation on if I'm gonna be there for you, I want you to be there for me. And a lot of people at the time won't be there for you, and that's when you become like, oh, so like then it's like, this is what you call my friends, like ain't nobody there when you need them, like everybody phony. And then there's that whole back and forth situation. Then you start coming up, you start telling yourself things like, all right, so next time y'all need me, it's whatever, man, like don't say nothing. But most of the time it don't be no real malice intention on why they don't respond to you immediately. Like I said, people just like to make things difficult. That's just their nature. They're just difficult people. Like I said, people are sick. So you just got to accept that people suck. And it sucks because it's like, damn, like, like you would think one person like yourself exists. Like, there's not other people. I talk to people who are close to me. I talk to people online, talk to people internationally, and it's like nobody is like as accessible as I am in my encounters of people. So it is what it is. You should just like that people say, focus on yourself, king. But yeah, just focus on yourself. As always, I say, do some hobbies, cause find things to do, find things to enjoy. Find comfort in just being in your zone. If you don't, cause every day don't have to be this extravagant social event. You need to talk to people. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a day of come home from work after you get yourself settled, just sit on your couch, turn on the TV, and sit there until it's bedtime. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's your comfort, that's your luxury, and that's your peace. You work to obtain that little moment of solitude for yourself, so enjoy it. Don't let your issues of why your friends ain't around because you probably want to do something. Like, some people don't want to do nothing today. People probably don't have the money to do things today. But it also sucks when you're the person who's like, oh, all the times I hit y'all up and y'all finally hit me up, and now I actually don't have either the time or I don't have the money to do it. It's like, oh, but that's when all your friends do it. Like, like it's a group event and you just happen to be the one person missing out. But all the times you've been trying to get all your friends, they all got excuses why they can't come. So it's like, it is what it is. Just enjoy your peace, enjoy your solitude. Whenever y'all need each other, it'll happen. Don't force nothing, And like I said, make yourself less accessible. Make people miss you. Make people want you. Like, oh, I haven't talked to him in a while. I haven't talked to him. But like, if you have something to offer, because there's people I don't talk to, like, oh, I haven't talked to them in a while. There's no reason for me to talk to them, so I'm not going to keep not talking to them. Like, if you don't bring nothing to me in my life, then that's that. But like, if you're that person who's like, oh, like, yeah, he always come through, he's always there for me, he got my back, so I always check up on him, I talk to him, whatever. But yeah. So maybe you should also analyze what's your role in the friendship. Like if you are just the person who's like, yeah, you're my friend, but you don't personally add anything to me. Like we don't have long talks about nothing. I don't come to you for advice. So I'm not gonna put you on the high like list of people who I want to respond to first. But that's mainly it. So it don't no don't hurt yourself. Like I said, respect yourself. Always love yourself because in the end, it's just always gonna be you. The person who needs to take care of you the most is gonna be you. The person who's gonna figure things out as you're going through this obstacle of life is gonna be you. There's gonna be some people gonna help give you advice, give you a different alternative route, but it's up to you to make that decision on where to go. So make yourself a better version of yourself. And like I said, how for me, I give myself challenges like, hey, I'm not gonna eat this for the rest of the year. Hey, I'm not gonna drink this for the rest of the year. And if it goes into like, oh, I actually was able to survive without a year of this thing in my life pretty easily. So I'm just gonna see if I can just remove it completely, and just go from there. Like just build yourself, work on yourself. Like I said, hobbies, always hobbies. Give yourself something to do. Don't like I said, it's cool to have the days where you just want to just sit and chill, but also have something. Express yourself. Like I said, that's my biggest avocation right there. Creative expression. Like I'm sitting here, I keep saying this like almost every episode. I'm sitting here doing this podcast, doing a whole nother podcast. So I brought up my music. I want to go back to doing YouTube when I get the motivation. But even just playing video games, like just have your hobbies. If one thing, like let's say you get tired of playing the same games over, then have another hobby to fall back on. Like, hey, let me read this manga then. Hey, you caught up on all your mangas? Oh, let me find some music or something. Oh, and especially if you someone like me, which I want to focus on. I want to work on this probably during the summer. If you're a homebody like me, you just be chilling at home, like get out your house. Just go somewhere. The thing about me is just I just don't know where to go because like I said, I'm a homebody, so I don't know the area. Like the only places I know is the places that's important. Like, oh, this is where I get my food at. This is the grocery spot. This is the gas station. These are the essential places that I need to know for maintaining my life. But like in terms of just, hey, let me just hang out somewhere. Like, cause I can not go to the bookstore when I want to read my books or buy some manga. And I'm like, oh, so I know where those are. So just find some spots for you and leave the house. Just chill. Like I said, turn up the phone. Stop being on social media. Stop letting the wrong people ruin your mood. And just focus on yourself, man. Just build yourself, make yourself better. That's what it's all about out here. That's self-love, self-care, and give yourself some self-worth. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. I ain't gonna force much. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's another installment of the Relaxing Thoughts podcast. Like I said, I also have my other podcast, the Splits and Sake podcast, the anime based and a video format if you want to see the podcast instead of just hearing my voice. It's cool. But yeah, rate, share the podcast. I don't know, but if you are going to be the person who do listen to my podcast on YouTube, I'm not sure if there's a comment section, because I know for some things that's like audio only, is like, oh, you can't comment on that. But I think you should. So I mean, if you want to be that person who wants to comment on my video or my podcast, you want to comment on this episode and say something, anything. Actually, question of the day. Can I make one up right now? Yeah. Question of the day. Cause if you are new to my podcast, I try to give a question of the day every episode. This is mainly just for you to answer for yourself, and of course, like I said, you want to comment on the YouTube version of this podcast episode, you can do that too. But what is something like, what's a challenge that you gave yourself in life to kind of like better yourself? Like if you had to cut something out in your life, or you gave yourself something more to do, like, oh, I'm gonna exercise more this time or whatever, or I'm gonna cut out on eating this or cut out on doing that. Yeah, so what's some challenges you done for yourself that um you know that you tried or attempted or successfully attempted to better yourself in any way? It doesn't even have to be like a health way, it just could just be, you know, a sense of accomplishment, just giving yourself that, oh, I said I can do this, and I actually did it. uh, but yeah, that's about it, man. So hope you all enjoy this episode. And until the next episode, I hope you have a great day and a great week. And yeah, peace.